All right, let's talk about something that feels a little backwards, but is so true. We're going to unpack this huge idea. What if chasing happiness is the very thing that's making you miserable? I mean, really think about it. We've all been there, right? You're having a bad day, and you're trying so hard to just feel happy. You're forcing it, telling yourself to cheer up, and somehow it just makes everything feel worse, more hollow. If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. There's actually a name for that feeling, for that struggle. It's called the happiness trap. It's this crazy cycle we get caught in when we start treating happiness like a destination we have to reach, instead of something that just happens along the way. And this is the perfect way to picture it, isn't it? You're running and running, putting in all this effort, but you're not actually getting anywhere. All that energy spent trying to feel a certain way is completely exhausting. It keeps real joy, real contentment always just over the horizon, never right here. So why? Why is it that the harder we try, the worse it gets? Well, the answer is in this fascinating psychological quirk you could call the paradox of control. It kind of goes against everything we think we know about achieving goals. So look at these two columns. On the left, that's the trap. Force, grasp, control, chase. It's all about clenching your fist and trying to grab onto an emotion, which is like trying to grab onto water. It just doesn't work. The key is the total opposite. It's about opening your hand, allow, accept, flow, receive. It's a mindset of letting go, not holding on tighter. And this old saying just nails it. You can't run after a butterfly with a net flailing around. Of course it's going to fly away. But what happens if you just get lost in tending your garden? You forget all about the butterfly. And then, quietly, when you're not even looking, it lands on you. See, happiness works the exact same way. Okay, so if chasing doesn't work, what are we supposed to do? Just give up? Well, no. Turns out this is not a new problem at all. In fact, ancient Taoist philosophy had a pretty brilliant answer thousands of years ago. The concept is called Wu-Wei. Now, it's super important to get this right. Wu-Wei does not mean being lazy or doing nothing at all. Far from it. It's about a smarter way of doing things. It's about learning to work with the currents of life instead of constantly trying to swim upstream. I love this analogy. Chasing happiness is like trying to row a boat as hard as you can. It's just brute force. You're sweating, straining, fighting the water with every single stroke. But Wu-Wei is like sailing. You're not fighting the wind. You're using the wind. You're harnessing a power that's already there to glide to where you want to go. It's elegant, it's intelligent, and from the outside, it looks almost effortless. Okay, so that sounds amazing in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in real life? How do we stop rowing and start sailing? Well, we can actually break it down into a pretty simple practice. It really comes down to these four things. First, you still need a destination. You set a clear intention. Second, don't get paralyzed by planning. Just take the easiest, most natural first step you can see. Third, and this is key, pay attention. If things get hard, don't just push harder. Adapt. Look for an opening. And last, and this one is the toughest, you have to let go of your death grip on the final result. You have to trust the process. And when you start to live this way, something amazing happens. Your whole approach to happiness gets flipped on its head. It stops being this thing you have to hunt down and capture. In the end, getting out of the happiness trap isn't about learning some complicated new skill set. It really all boils down to one simple but totally profound shift in your perspective. You move from chasing a feeling to simply building a life where that feeling is a welcome and frequent guest. And that's really the heart of it all. The beautiful irony is that when you finally stop obsessing over whether or not you're happy, you free up all this mental and emotional energy to just live, to get lost in your work, to connect with people, to be present. And it's right there, in the middle of a life fully lived, that happiness tends to show up unannounced. So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. Where in your life are you rowing like crazy when you could be sailing? What amazing things might you accomplish if you just stopped trying so hard and started moving with the flow?